Hello, everyone. Just wanted to get on here for about 10 minutes. If you got 10 minutes, if I could have 10 minutes of your time, I wanted to let you know why I got this big smile on my face because my book has just now been delivered. I've been waiting on it to ship so I can share with you guys the latest book that I have wrote. It is now available on Amazon. You can get it on Shopify, and you can also get it on TikTok Shop. Listen to me. This book right here, it was a book I wrote because, it was times that I felt like, people were stepping over me, and you know how that crack is in that concrete, and you see that little flower, and it's trying to grow, but people just kept stepping on it, and then later on you come and you see the crack went in just a little bit, and you can see the flower, and you like, hold on. But nobody's really paying attention to it, but you paying attention to it because you want to know, like, just a few months back it was a bigger crack, and now the crack is no longer there. Well, I feel like that's what was happening to me. I was, trying to become that rose, but nobody, saw me. So they kept stepping over me and they kept overlooking me until one day God says, she's becoming. She's a rose that grew from the concrete. She is who I made her to be. So for the next 8 minutes, I'm going to give you all a little bit of the book I have wrote called Becoming the Rose That Grew from the Concrete. So bear with me. How y'all doing today? I hope everyone has had a blessed Sunday. I got put on my bifocus. Hey, now I can see y'all. So y'all, this is the book. I'm so excited. This is the book that I have wrote, and this is the latest book from me, myself. And it's a journey of healing, faith, and restoration. So I want to just give you a little bit. And you got to order the book, but I'm going to give you a little bit of it. So the table of contents, we got the woman who is still breathing. I'm still here, even after what broke me, is chapter 1. Chapter 5, rebuilding me from the inside out. Chapter 8, I'm not who I used to be. So this is dedicated to every woman who has felt broken, forgotten, rejected, abandoned, overlooked, or weary. This book is for you. To the woman who cried behind closed doors while telling everyone she was fine. To the woman who kept showing up when she wanted to give up. See, that's me. That's how I was feeling. To the woman who carried burdens nobody knew about. I know it's hitting somebody. To the woman who survived seasons she never thought she would make it through. This book is dedicated to you. May these pages remind you that your pain has not disqualified you. Your mistakes have not disqualified you. Your heartbreak has not disqualified you. And your survival is proof that God is not finished with you yet. I also dedicate this book to every woman who is learning to choose healing over hiding, faith over fear, and purpose over pain. May you discover what tried to break you, and what tried to break you could not destroy you. May you find strength in God's promise. May you find hope in your journey. And may you continue becoming the woman God created you to be. Family, I dedicate this book to the God who carried me. through every storm, every setback, every disappointment, and every victory. I thank you, Lord. Without His grace, without His mercy, and without His love and restoration, this story would not exist. To God be all the glory. See, don't get twisted about, see, y'all would miss the message because of who the messenger is. So chapter 1 says, I'm still here even after what broke me. A letter to the woman who survived. Before we go any further, I need you to know something. The fact that you are reading these words means you survived. You may not feel strong, you may not feel healed, and you may not feel whole, but you survived. You survived that heartbreak. You survived that betrayal. You survived that abandonment. You survived that disappointment. You survived the tears nobody knew you cried. You survived the nights when sleep would not come. You survived those battles that happened behind closed doors. And even though some days you still carry the scars, you are here. I am talking to the woman who has felt this at some point in time of your life. It's not about you being stuck in that situation. Is how you went through this and how you're going to come out of it if you haven't already come out of it. This book, I guarantee you, will help you get through those spaces and those spots where the wound is so deep that you think nobody can understand and nobody can get there. And that's when God heals, and that's when God allows restoration. A little bit more, and then you're going to have to get the book. I'm going to skip over. It says, there was a season when life felt heavier than your strength. There was a season when you wondered if things would even get better. But yet, somehow, through every storm, every setback, every loss, and every painful chapter, God kept you. Thank you. You may not have recognized His hand at the time, but looking back, you can see evidence of His grace. You are still breathing. You are still standing. You are still becoming. And that means your story is not over. When life breaks you, nobody talks enough about the moments that break us, not the obvious moments, the hidden ones. The phone call that changed everything, the relationship that ended unexpectedly, the friendship that dissolved without explanation, the prayer that seemed unanswered, the dream that fell apart, the diagnosis, the divorce, the rejection, the church hurt, the loneliness, the grief. Life has a way of introducing pain that we never signed up for. And if we're honest, some wounds don't just hurt us, they change us. They make us question our worth. They make us question our future. Sometimes they even make us question God. I've been there. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you're there now. Maybe you've asked, God, where were you? Why did this happen? Why did you allow this pain? Those questions don't make you weak. They make you human. And God is not intimidated by your questions. He is not offended by your tears. And He is not afraid of your honesty. God never left. One of the greatest truths I have learned is this. Just because God feels silent does not mean He is absent. There were moments in my own life when I would not trace God's hands. Moments when I felt forgotten. Moments when I felt abandoned. Moments when I wondered if He seen me at all. But later I realized something. He was carrying me through places I never could have walked through on my own. When I was crying, He was there. When I was angry, He was there. When I was confused, He was there. When I was exhausted, He was there. When I wanted to quit, He was there. And He is here now with you and with